Okay, it's a beautiful day today. It looks like it's a tremendous turnout. Do you have any ideas how many runners have actually come in so far?
We're anticipating about 1,000 runners today.
That's tremendous. You know, it really speaks well of our community. This road race in Bedford has become quite the thing for people to participate in. This is the 38th one, I'm told. Hopefully we're going to have a guest later who actually ran the first one.
Wow.
So we'll see how that one plays out. And I assume you're going to be all over the place today?
All over the place. Both the 12K and the 5K, we got a great turnout and a lot of people dressed up as patriotic for our country.
Well, that's great because it's, you know, particularly the parade tomorrow is the theme of respect the veterans. So, you know, the patriotic situation, I see that one of the races is even named after you.
Absolutely. The 5K, because that's about my running limit.
Well, you're outdoing me by a long shot. At any rate, thank you so much.
Certainly.
And have a great day.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, you know, when I did the...
Is it performance? Well, I think it's hamstring like tendonitis. It's kind of like cramping my performance. I probably should invest some money to see like... kind of stubborn.
And then Miranda walked. So the whole way.
If you're online...
For you.
Remember, I can't...
Okay, as I promised you, joining us now is Nancy Larson, who's one of the co-hosts for our show today. And Nancy has been a runner for quite a few years. And one of the reasons I asked her to be here and join us was the fact of her ability to be able to bring a runner's perspective to the show today. It's been a lot of years since I've been running, and you know, I think that somebody like Nancy, who has the experience, can bring it to a realistic point for you people who are watching. So Nance, tell us a little bit about road racing.
Well, the idea behind road racing is to prevent injury. That's, I think, probably at the forethought of everyone when they're training. You want to try and gradually build your mileage up and make sure that you cross-train. I think it's important to add other elements into your training routine, such as biking, swimming, as well as running. Actually, I can't run at the moment because I did injure my knee last year, so I'm recovering from that injury, and hopefully within maybe a few more months I'll be able to hit the trails again. But it's important to try and listen to your body, and if you feel certain pains coming on, listen to your body and try not to be a hero and work through those painful moments. But we are runners, and that's what we like to do. So that's about it for now.
Thanks, Nancy. And the thing too, you're homegrown Bedford the same way the other two of us are, and you've seen this evolve over the years too. From the first one was 38 years ago, and you know, not that you ran in it, of course, but the issue is, you know, going through the school system and everything else, a lot of the phys ed and that at that point in the early programs sort of brought into the idea of running, and I think that's where, you know, a lot of the Bedford people that grew up here actually got into the spirit of it and the interest in running.
I know.
take them on the water. About every mile of the research pictures. And a lot of them are marked. You'll see them before you get them. After the race, on the award, food is available for you inside the cafeteria. After you finish, you'll have water and popsicles at the finish line, and then you can go right to the cafeteria where they'll be lots of good stuff for you, plus awards. Runners, on your mark, that's it.
And now we're here with members of Cub Pack 5, and they have a refreshment water stand set up for the runners. And this is not the first time that they've done this. This is an ongoing situation. And I've got 3 veterans here with me. So why don't we sound off? Your name is?
Bullock, Zach Kearns, Nick Delamater.
Okay, and as I said, they're veterans. They've been here before. So which one of you guys wants to tell me about last year and how and what you thought of it? Okay?
Last year that my mom was in the race, and with a lot of people. It was great to help out.
Okay.
I thought it was really fun to get to pass out water to people, and it was a lot of fun. Also, pass out popsicles to the runners to some
Okay, so we've got water and popsicles. That's a winning combination. I can remember both of those. But anyway, so you guys are set and ready to go. I understand it's going to be about 20 minutes before the runners get in. So I'll let you guys get back to doing what you're doing, and I'll probably be back later. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Welcome.
All right.
Okay, and now we're here just standing underneath the finish line for the Rotary Road Race, and I'm joined by Senator Andy Sanborn and Representative Laurie Sanborn. They've joined us on this beautiful Bedford day, and it's great to have both of you here. It's quite an entrance to see our community as active as what they are. I know you're a runner, Laurie.
I am. I wish I was running today. This is a beautiful day.
Well, we can make reservations for next year.
Good.
But it's great to have the two of you here. As a runner, what do you think of a race like this?
This is amazing. You have such a great turnout, and it's a huge sense of community. You're raising money for scholarships. It's a wonderful thing, and of course, we're honoring our veterans this weekend as well.
And that's one of the big things, and I've been saying it in conjunction with the pre-Memorial Day parade tomorrow. The theory of that, of course, is we're honoring our veterans. So, you know, the Rotary Club does phenomenal work, and so much of what they do, as you said, is with the scholarships that they're generating from the fees and whatnot from today. And Andy, you must have seen a lot of these things in your district, which stretches so far across the state.
I mean, there's no question, Rick. I mean, this is a state, knowing that 10% of the residents in our state are veterans. It means a lot to us. We truly thank them for their ability, for all the work they've done so we can live the life that we have. And it's great to see this event. I mean, figure 38 years. I mean, it takes staying power to make an event this good to last so long. And you guys are just doing an amazing job.
Well, in fairness, you know, this is the Rotary Club. This was their brainchild many years ago, and they've really kept up with it, and it's expanded as it's gone on from the early days at McKelvey, now here at the high school, and we're standing on a track that would have been a dream 38 years ago. That you know, our town has come a long way, and certainly the ability to support something like this has just speaks so well of our community. And that's one reason why, as part of Bedford Positively, I'm glad to be here today hosting this television show. But, you know, I suspect you guys are going to be around for a bit, seeing what's going on. And I guess we should be about 15 minutes away from this race ending.
Absolutely.
And then we have another one starting.
We do
so
have another one starting.
Thank both of you for your time.
Thank you so
Rick,
much for
thanks
having
so much
us.
for having us. We truly appreciate it.
Take care now.
Thank you.
Okay, and now joining us is my other co-host, Nancy Larson. And I particularly asked Nancy to be here today because she has been very active as a runner for the last number of years. And I thought that she could give us a little bit of insight into what goes on in the mind of a runner, how you prepare for things. And, Nancy, can you give us sort of a rundown of being a runner? Because I'm definitely not. Give me a microphone and I'm happy, but not a runner. And then I'm going to give you a shot on this too, CJ. Nancy?
Sure. Well, running takes a lot of discipline. It takes discipline to get up in the morning and go for a run before work every day, or if you choose to run in the afternoon, that takes discipline. It also takes discipline to make sure that you don't overtrain, which often leads to injury. And it's important to remember to stretch, of course, after a run, warm up before a run, and build your mileage gradually. And I also feel it's important to cross-train, throw some biking in there and some swimming if you have access to a pool or open water, and also trail running. Trail running is a lot easier on your joints. It's a lot more fun as far as I'm concerned, and also important is when you feel those aches and pains, try your best not to run through them. Because it often does lead to injury. But running is a great sport. It's a great way to clear your mind, and it, as long as you can avoid injury, it keeps you healthy, and it keeps your energy levels up, and it's just a really fun way to meet a lot of people. And now that Bedford High is here, we've got this wonderful track surface, which is a really terrific way to also integrate some interval training, and that helps improve your speed for a race like the Bedford Rotary race. And so if anyone is thinking about running, I encourage everyone to give it a try. It's a lot of fun, and that's about all I have to say right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Nance. And CJ, you're a graduate of this school, and you came up through the Bedford school system many years after me and not so many after Nancy. But, back in my day, there was not a big emphasis put on track and that kind of stuff. Because, again, really, a track like this was simply a dream for so many people in Bedford. You coming up through, was there an emphasis on track and field, or was it more of something else?
Well, when I went through school, there was a big emphasis on track and running. Like in middle school, they had us every year. They'd have us in a gym. They'd have us run the mile, and every day building up to the mile, they'd have us run for like 3 minutes, and then 3 minutes 30 seconds, and then 4 minutes, and then we'd build up to the mile, then we'd do the mile. And then, like in physical training, which is I don't know if they still have that today at the Lurgio, but once a week they'd have us like run around the track and like do all these sports and stuff like that. But then in high school they'd have us run the mile again. Each like wellness 1, wellness 2, we'd always run the mile. But even before we run the mile, like we start off by like stretching, and like each class we'd start stretching, and then like we'd run a lap or two, and then we'd start doing our thing. But there was a big emphasis on like the whole track and running thing. And our track team is actually pretty big. I think that had a big contribution to it.
Well, and I think that's part of it, because so much of building a community is when you add different aspects to what you have people doing, and things that you're bringing to the table that a community can embrace. And that's one of the things that we're seeing with this road race today, and have for the last 38 years, is you're seeing a sense of community. True, there are many people that are in the road race that come from areas far beyond the boundaries of Bedford, but there are still a lot of Bedford people that are running in this road race. And the fact that we can also have our own people running, but also we are enough of a community to play host to those from outside the borders of Bedford, I think speaks tremendously well of our community. Well, I think we're going to be seeing pretty much the end of this first race pretty soon, so I think we better get out of the way, or we might become part of the track. So we'll be back. Okay, and now for as a special treat, I'm joined by former town councilor Dave Danielson, who has been a fixture in Bedford for more years than most can remember, except me. And Dave, you know, as a Rotarian, can you give us a little bit of a rundown, not only on the history of the race, but also on how Rotary is taking this event and changing it into scholarship funds for the kids of our community?
Right. We, I think as we just speaking off camera, this race was actually started by, I believe, the Bedford PTG back 30 some odd years ago. It got to a point about 21 years ago where they said we can't do it anymore, we can't run it anymore, so we picked it up as part of the Memorial Day, pre-Memorial Day festivities. So we've been doing it since then, and it's a club activity. It's an all hands on deck activity. So we enjoy it quite a bit. Everybody has a role to play, and we usually have some fun at this too. Not too many of us run, thankfully. Although when we first started, I did run on the first one. I think I almost died, I think, but we did run it. So it was. So it's been fun. It's been a fun event. Now for the money, we do raise. This is a fairly good fundraiser for us, and we use the money for a number of events. Not just we do have scholarships that we give out every year. This year we'll be splitting them between West High and Bedford High. We do contribute, along with all the other Rotary clubs in the world. We've contributed to. It's called Polio Plus, and what we're trying to do is eliminate polio throughout the world, and we've been successful in that. Our club has now what we call Paul Harris Fellows. Everybody in our club has qualified as a Paul Harris Fellow, and there's only 2 clubs in the United States where that has happened. So, yeah, so it's pretty important, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
Okay, now what is a Paul Harris Fellow?
Yeah, it's a person who has. There's 2 ways of becoming a Paul Harris Fellow. One is that you've contributed a great deal to the club or to the Rotary Foundation, and so you're recognized by an individual club. And Paul Harris was the founder of Rotary back in 1905, and so it memorizes him. And then the other way you get it is that each individual raises $1,000 or contributes $1,000 to the foundation, and the foundation recognizes them for that contribution. So there's a couple of ways that you become a Paul Harris Fellow, but they're recognized all around the world as being influential in Rotary.
Well, that's great. And I mean, again, this is what we're talking about. It's community spirit. Again, that's one reason I'm here, because of Bedford Positively. And, you know, Dave, it's got to fill you guys with so much pride to see something like this going on. I know I was standing up on the hill as the gun went off, and it was just like a sea of people going down County Road. And for you guys to be able to orchestrate that and bring this kind of credit and visibility to our community has got to fill you guys with a whole amount of pride.
Right. Well, Bill Gear and Brian Moyer are our co-chairs of the race, and they've put their hearts and souls into this for the years that we've run it. And Brian does it on the web because he's out of town most of the week, and so his contributions have been there all the way through. And it's really great that these 2 guys have dedicated themselves to this. But we all know what we're supposed to do. I've been I've been participating at the finish line for, I don't want to use running, but I've been participating in the finish line. That was my job when I first started, and I've had it ever since. So we all know what we're supposed to do, and it makes it a lot easier.
But again, you know, you guys deserve a tremendous amount of credit for bringing something like this to our community. So, you know, we're going to be here throughout the morning. We're going to be watching the other race, and perhaps we'll get back to you for some additional commentary. But again, thank you so much for the time, and we'll be back.
When the finish comes through,
You're actually too close. They're not going to be ready for water for another 10 feet or so.
Stand back here, okay? Great job. Thank you.
There's another one. I got the ice pop. I got the You can hand those out to one person, and I'll hand this out to one person. Because there's 2 more runners. 2 more runners. Get out of the water. Hey guys, don't put the red cup down. I got the ice pop. I got the one. This one on me.
Good run.
Thanks.
Come on, Jay! Move, Jay! Gentlemen!
Move back from the mat with your chip.
Come on, Jay!
You got a chip there.
Nice, Todd. Good job. All right, Joe. Good job.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we were tough. They really wanted you. 45, and I'm 45. The age group. Hey, Martin!
First woman coming down the hill in yellow.
Yeah, couldn't break 45.
Amanda! Go, Caitlin!
moving, keep moving.
Nope.
That was great.
What's up, people?
No. What was your pace? I don't know.
Thanks, guys.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Mother would like one of these. Red? A red robe.